With an urban population of over 18 million people, Mumbai was once known for its booming cotton textile industry. However, now the city's economy has diversified greatly and accommodates several new industries. With an area of over 400 square kilometers, Mumbai is home to over 1.8% of the nation's population and has an average yearly growth rate of around 3.5%. Mumbai is an ever changing city. Mumbai has gone through several changes over the past few years to lead to growth and development within the city. One of the most prominent urban redevelopment projects is the Bandra-Worli Sea Link. The Bandra-Worli Sea Link is an 8-lane cable-stayed bridge which is the first of its kind in the city. Established in around 2009, the Bandra-Worli Sea Link aimed to reduce the traffic and congestion caused at the Mahim Causeway, which was initially the only route from Bandra to Worli. There are several advantages to the Bandra-Worli Sea Link. Firstly, it's estimated that it helps save around 10 million annually due to the reduced traffic and congestion. It also reduces driving time significantly from Bandra to Worli from 40 minutes to 8 minutes, and this also has a lot of significant environmental and social benefits. Firstly, there's a reduction in mental stress and an improvement in quality of life since passengers and people of Mumbai are able to travel faster and safer around the city. And also, there's a significant reduction in accidents since there's lowered congestion and there's wider roads. And because of the impeccable design of this bridge, there is an enhancement in the surrounding area's aesthetics. There's also a reduced time spent idling the engine. So previously in the Mahim Causeway route, because of the bottleneck situation there, the cars would spend significant amounts of the time stuck in traffic and idling their engines, which would further contribute to the CO2 emissions within the city. However, now because of the sea link, this time is reduced significantly. There are several disadvantages to this project which have been overlooked. For example, the total length of the bridge is around 7.1 kilometers. However, the actual route from Mahim to Worli is only 5.2 kilometers. Therefore, even though the time traveled has been reduced significantly, the distance has increased. Moreover, there is a toll fee of around 50 rupees per time when traveling on the sea link, and this could be said that it's furthering class disparity since not everyone can afford to pay 50 rupees each time they use the sea link, and it might not be considered as a practical investment if one has to travel daily from Bandra to Worli. Moreover, because of this development, the mouth of the Mithi River at Mahim Causeway has been narrowed because of the reclamation of land. And because of the narrowing of the mouth, there has been significant changes in the flow of water and has actually led to floods in and around the area. There's also a negative impact on the local fishermen's livelihood, and this is primarily because it's been estimated that the development of the bridge has negatively impacted the fishing community since it impedes fishermen from going into the sea as well as scares fish around the bridge due to the noise generation. And lastly, it can be said that the bridge promotes class disparities as it's seen as a further investment in the upper class who can afford cars and who can afford to pay a regular toll. And as Enrique Peñalosa, who is the mayor of Bogota, has said that a citizen on a bicycle is of equal importance as a citizen in a car. And by investing in the sea link, it can be said that the city is placing more importance on the upper class people who use private transportation and who can afford to pay the fee rather than citizens who use public transportation. Another significant urban redevelopment project is the Mumbai monorail. Established in 2014, the Mumbai monorail was designed with the aim of reducing the pressure placed on public transportation methods in the city. The designers of the monorail have claimed that existing systems of transportation, such as the buses, provide the consumers with no benefits since they're extremely inefficient, slow, and uncomfortable. And therefore, the Mumbai monorail is an alternative to these existing modes of transportation, which actually benefit the consumer. There are several advantages to the Mumbai monorail. Firstly, it eases the pressure on existing modes of transportation. So, over 11 million people in Mumbai use public transportation daily, and 60% of these commuters travel by the suburban railway networks. Therefore, in order to reduce the congestion and the pressure placed on the local railway networks, the Mumbai monorail is an alternative and tries to reduce the congestion. Additionally, it attempts to reduce the use of private vehicles by providing citizens with an alternative method of transportation. It also avoids street traffic, which, as mentioned earlier, is a significant problem within the city. And it can also save time by avoiding this traffic. Moreover, the Mumbai monorail is more comfortable, it's cleaner, and tends to be safer than other modes of transportation, such as the railway networks and the buses, which lend themselves to significant accidents daily. And it's also a solution for areas with narrow roads. In Mumbai, there is a significant problem of extremely narrow roads due to the lack of infrastructure, and because of this, several modes of transportation face challenges making sharp turns and traveling efficiently within the city. However, the Mumbai monorail is an efficient solution to this problem. It's also estimated that it saves approximately 200 tons of CO2 emissions every day. There are several disadvantages to the Mumbai monorail as it has been branded as a failed investment. Firstly, the project loses around 8.5 lakhs every day due to the significantly high operation costs of the project. And in addition to this, the project has also failed to attract several consumers and several citizens, and only 16,000 people regularly use the Wadala Chamber service. And because of this, the high operation costs aren't offset. On average, the transit system costs the state around 1,000 crore rupees, which is a significant investment, which is an opportunity cost which could have been invested in other areas within the city. One of the primary reasons for the failure of the Mumbai monorail is the poor selection of route. There is a significant absence of commercial hubs in and around the areas where the monorail exists, and because of this, it fails to attract a lot of riders. Moreover, there's a lack of feeder services to and from the stations. Therefore, because of the lack of link ups with other transportation methods, only riders who are around the station area or have to travel to an area around the station's area are attracted. Because of the lack of link ups with buses and railways, it makes the method of transportation quite obsolete. It's also caused a lot of environmental issues, specifically the reduction in the green cover in Mumbai. It has been estimated that over 383 trees in Wadala were hacked, and 1,200 branches of over 369 trees were cut down between Jacob Circle and Wadala to accommodate for this monorail. Lastly, the High Street Phoenix is another one of the most prominent urban redevelopment projects in the city. Primar- uh, Primarily, the High Street Phoenix was a cotton mills a few decades ago. However, due to the labor strikes and the decline in the cotton industry, the owners have rebranded the cotton mills and redeveloped the cotton mills as a commercial and residential area. The High Street Phoenix urban redevelopment project had led to several advantages. Firstly, it led to immense success financially. So while most malls in Mumbai are doing a business of roughly 1,200 to 1,300 rupees per square feet per month, the High Street Phoenix actually does a business of over 2,200 rupees per square feet per month. This shows how incredibly successful the mills is in compared to its competition. Moreover, the vacancy in Mumbai malls increased from 15.29% in the first quarter of 2014 to 17% in the first quarter of 2015. However, the High Street Phoenix has an almost zero vacancy or 100% occupation, which further signifies how successful it is as a shopping mall. The 3.3 million square feet area is growing at a compounded growth rate of 30%. So not only is the mall successful, but it's increasing its capacity and increasing the amount of options made available to the citizens. It's also a sign of increased globalization in Mumbai. High Street Phoenix is home to some of the most popular and most reputed international brands, which are acclaimed globally. And this includes Zara, H&M, Burberry, most of which are exclusive to the shopping mall. It's also shown progress from the secondary sector to the tertiary sector. Um, as the mills was first used for manufacturing products and now it's being used to sell goods and services, it helps show how Mumbai has been transitioning um, throughout the sectors to show more growth and development within the city. High Street Phoenix has also led to a lot of employment opportunities for locals, as well as increased consumer options in terms of the various brands available, the various products and services available. It also provides significant infrastructural improvements within the city due to the improvements made in the mall, and it also leads to another source of entertainment for the locals, as it's not only a shopping mall but it also has other commercial activities which can be another source of entertainment for locals. There are significant disadvantages to this redevelopment project as well. Firstly, as mentioned earlier, the cotton industry was a significant aspect of Mumbai's heritage, and by redeveloping the mills into a shopping center and into a commercial area, it can be seen as a loss in heritage, which is a significant aspect of the city. Moreover, the increased globalization may lead to an increased loss of local culture. So, as mentioned previously, the introduction of foreign brands may be undermining the value of local goods and commodities. And the increased globalization may lead to depreciation in local culture, basically. Uh, Another significant problem is that the increased competition for local companies due to the introduction of foreign competition. Therefore, many locals may uh, lead there might be potential for unemployment since there is a lot of foreign competition. Also, there may be an inflation aspect related to this redevelopment project. Since the redevelopment project rises in land prices may have taken place, and because of this, there may have been inflation. Also, Jane Jacobs has said that one of the most important aspects of a city and one of the most important aspects for a city's success is its distinctiveness. And as mentioned earlier, because of the redevelopment of the mills, it can be said that Mumbai is losing its distinctiveness. And by introducing just another shopping mall, that Mumbai might be undermining some of its charm.
There's a lot of potential for redevelopment in Mumbai. The Dockland redevelopment is viewed by many as Mumbai's last big chance. For more than a decade, Mumbai's agencies have been petitioning federal port authorities to open some part of the 730-hectare Dockland for public use, as other port cities around the entire world have done. Mumbai's port helped make the city the region's premier trading center in the 19th as well as the 20th centuries. The working class neighborhood of Suri lies in the northern end of Mumbai's 28 kilometers eastern waterfront, which is a historic port area which is largely inaccessible. Hence, the 28 kilometers of eastern waterfront provides great potential for Mumbai. This June, the newly elected Federal Shipping Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, had appointed a committee of architects, officials, and others to look into the potential for redevelopment. What they found were extraordinary results with, with with potential in affordable housing, transport links, as well as public spaces, all three of which are lacking in the main city center of Mumbai. Of course, there are many ideas which have been proposed already. Some of the suggestions have ranged from very simple, for example, parks and promenades and water transport, to extraordinary and big constructions. For example, the London Eye like installation called the Sudarshan Chakra, which is a spinning disc of death wielded by the god Vishnu. There are obviously going to be some objections to the proposed ideas. For example, the Mumbai Port Trust hadn't made any suggestions of its own until now. However, in recent months, the authority had proposed a floating hotel and a helicopter for the VVIPs in South Mumbai, in and around South Mumbai, and is looking for other ways uh, to make the to make use of the 7.7 billion property of land. The MPT chairman, Mr. Ravi Parmar, has argued that these projects are very important for the city and that the port isn't a reasonable place for building affordable housing and other such um, constructions which would help the local people and the poor people, because Mr. Parmar believes that the port is not responsible for providing parks or affordable housing. It is the state government's job to do this, he said, before adding quickly that not that we don't want affordable housing, it's difficult to balance social objectives with profits. Hence, we can see that 730 hectares of land uh, is no small news within a city like Mumbai, and it definitely can be used for various objectives. Some of the people want profits out of it, and some of the people will look to help the poor, as poverty is extremely prevalent and is present in abundance in the city of Mumbai. The Western Freeway is another incredible project which has great potential within the city of Mumbai. The Western Freeway is a transportation infrastructure project in Mumbai that envisions the construction of multiple bridges over the Arabian Sea to reduce the traffic congestion which is present within the western suburbs and the island city. The freeway potential stretches from Marine Drive, which is located in South Mumbai, to Kandivali, which is in the north, which is a distance of 29 kilometers in total. The first phase of the project, known as the Bandra Worli Sea Link, has been discussed earlier and was completed in June 2009, and links Bandra in the north and Worli in the south with a cable stayed bridge spanning the Mahim Bay. Along the western freeway of Mumbai lies Haji Ali, and one of the great potential developments were looked and is looked upon a great potential development is the Haji Ali Nariman Point Sea Link. This was a section which would have been an extension of the current sea link from Haji Ali to Priyadarshini Park and onward to Malabar Hill. This project, however, did not come to completion as on April 16, 2013, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Prithviraj Chauhan, told the State Assembly that the Nariman Point Haji Ali Sea Link was very impractical. Mr. Chauhan also suggested an alternative or a coastal road. The coastal road would serve as an alternative to the sea link. While the Haji Ali Nariman Point Sea Link did not come to completion, the Woli Haji Ali section is still a very exciting option which is on the cards. This section would again be an extension of the current Bandra Worli Sea Link further into the heart of Mumbai city. For this, a 10-lane toll plaza is proposed at the start of the section at Worli. And again, this would help to reduce the traffic within the inner city of Mumbai. Hence, there is great potential for redevelopment and exciting projects within Mumbai, especially the eastern waterfront and the western freeway. Both the eastern waterfront would mainly help the people get affordable housing, transport links, as well as public spaces, hence reducing the congestion within the inner city. And the western freeway would mainly play the purpose of reducing the congestion within the main city.